I'll get started now. So I'm Kohsuke. I'm Kohsuke. I came from San Francisco, and so I'm the creator of Jenkins. Yes, thank you very much for coming here today. So the oh, okay, all right, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was on the importance of the local Jenkins community, because the community really matters for any projects, but especially so for projects like Jenkins. You know, we rely on the community to produce most of the plugins that we have today. So the plugin that you're using today, chances are that they came from some people somewhere around the world. And some certainly from Korea as well. Another reason it's important is because of localizations. Jenkins right now, I think, is localized to about 40 odd languages to varying degrees. And again, these words come from people that know this language, and I certainly don't know them. And then finally, we need to hear from the people about how to drive the project going forward, like where we need to be improving and so on. And all in all, we got a great project going for the Jenkins project. We have more than 300 people in the committers, and we have more than 50,000 installations around the world. That's a pretty good number. But at the same time, there are people and places that we aren't quite reaching yet. And that is, in my mind, is the local communities. And because, especially in Asia, the time zone difference is so great that from the rest of the English-speaking communities, like in the US and in Europe, it just doesn't work very well. When we are awake and we are hacking out, you guys are like sound asleep. Another reason the local community is important is because of the language barriers. And again, I'm originally from Japan, so I know that most of the people there just don't feel very comfortable speaking or writing in English. And I suspect that's the same in Korea as well, and so is in China. So having sort of a place that people can come and communicate in their own language is very, very important. And so that's part of the reason why I really wanted to come to Seoul and then to do this. And so I wanted to thank you very much for the people in Samsung to make this event possible today. Yeah, so I guess I think it's really important for the users of Jenkins to be able to ask their questions in the language that they feel comfortable with. And also, there's a lot of value in actually meeting to each other and then being able to sort of know each other, because as with anything else in human activities, these things get done through human relationships. So knowing someone that you work with goes quite a long way. And it also, is important. It's also very helpful to help you find opportunities elsewhere. For example, in the United States, the Jenkins administrators are in very high demand. I get asked from companies that if I know anyone who is willing to work in their companies to help their Jenkins instances. And I think those things are coming in Korea as well. So again, if you know that if you build some relationship inside the community of the users of Jenkins, those things will really help each other. It's really good for everyone. And finally, for the because of these language difference and time zone differences, it is not often visible from the United States that you guys actually exist, and then using Jenkins at a pretty large scale. So again, having a user community that we could interface with is going to go a long way in terms of making the Korean Jenkins community visible to the rest of the main Jenkins guys. So that's why we are doing this. I've been doing this in all places around the world. We've done one in Copenhagen. This was in September.